Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles, a channel where I try and showcase the fun that could be had in the world of variant Sudoku. And this is a puzzle that was sent to me by FullDeck and missing a few cards. It's a bit of a sneak preview because this puzzle is coming out on my channel a couple of days before they release it on their website or in their newsletter. And apparently they've said this is one of the more tricky puzzles they've ever created. I'm not sure if that's true or whatever. They've done some hard stuff before. But they said this one is really, really tricky. But it uses a couple of constraints that they say I'm really familiar with, and they're interested in seeing how I tackle this one, and thought I would be the person to do a nice sneak preview of it. So I'm curious to see how this one works. Quadruples and Renban. Renban is probably my favorite constraint, and quadruples is probably number 2. So yeah, this is right up my alley. But if they say it's hard, and I know how skilled they are as solvers, I'm terrified of this to see how this is going to go. So I don't have anything else to call out. There will be a link below to where you can try this puzzle for yourself, as well as to their website where you can sign up, where they will post all of their puzzles, but also you can sign up for a newsletter where they will email you weekly all of the puzzles that come out. It's really good. You get a bunch of free puzzles every week, and they also tend to often call out puzzles that they've solved that they like and all sorts of stuff. Really good stuff. And just because it's free doesn't mean it's bad. It's really good puzzles. I get a lot of their puzzles recommended to me, possibly because a lot of people sign up to their free newsletter. So yeah, really good stuff. But let's have a look at Cherry Blossom by FullDeck and missing a few cards. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. We have quadruples. So digits in these quadruple circles must be placed at least once in the 4 cells touching the circle. So 1, 6, and 9 must appear at least once in here. 3 must appear at least once in here. 6 must appear at least once in here. It might be possible that those are both 6. That might be the case, but we must put at least 1 6 in those 4 cells. And then Renban lines. Digits along a Renban line must form a non-repeating set of consecutive digits in any order. So, for example, along this line, that's 5 cells long. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it could be in any order. So if this is a 1, it would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in any order, because if you take the digits off a line and off the line and sort them, they must be a run of digits. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It couldn't be 1, 3, 7, 8, 9, because those are not a run of digits in order. And you can't repeat digits either. I couldn't do 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. That wouldn't work because I'd be repeating digits on the line. That's the way they work. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. So often with quadruples, the first thing you want to look for is overlaps, like here. So in here, we know that there is only 1 2 in this column and 1 2 in this column. But in those columns, there is a 2 in here and a 2 in here. So because there's only 2 2s in these columns, and there's 1 in here and 1 in here, I can't put a 2 in any of those cells, because if I do, I'd be putting a third 2 in those columns, but there's only 2 2s. So we know the 2 is down here. So in round this quadruple, the 2 is in one of those 2. And I want to look for more of those patterns if I can. So 4 here and 4 here means 4 is in one of those 3. I am actually going to mark digits in 3 locations in corners if I can find them. 5 here and 5 here puts 5 down here. How long are these lines? There must be a 5 on this line. And it must be here, here, or here, because I can't put a 5 in either of those cells because of this quadruple, because this is 5 cells long. How long is this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, this must contain every digit. And this is the same. So this is 9 cells long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are all 9 cells long. So these contain every digit. So there is a 5 on this line as well. And on this line, it's here, here, or here. Or no, it could be in either of those. Here, here, or one of... No, here, here, or here. That's... But every one of these lines must contain every digit. That's a 5. I can't put a 5 in either of those because 5 is down here. I can't put a 5 in any of those because of here. So the 5 must, on this line, must be in one of those two, but that quadruple is telling me that's a 5, which puts 5 in one of those two and 5 in one of those three. So now up here, 5 can't be in, no, 5 is there, there, or there. That hasn't changed that at all. Okay. So it's geometry around those. Like, keep looking for patterns. This is a 2-5 pair. 2-5, 2-5. So I can't put 2 and 5 in any of those. So this is actually a 2-5 pair, and 8 is in one of those two. So 2 and 5 must go in those. Actually, let's look at this. Those digits there must be on this line. So they are these four digits here. This 2-5 can't be here. So that digit, 2-5 is in those. So though one of those digits goes there. That digit there is in one of those two. The 8 looking up here puts 8 in one of those two, and I've got the 8 on this line already. That puts 8 in one of those three, but it can't be there because then I'd have 2 8s on the line. So the 8 is in one of those two. Oh, I was hoping that would line up with another 8, but it doesn't. Four is in one of those two. Those digits here are those digits here. Now that's a bit interesting because these digits have to go on the line somewhere because all of the lines are 9 cells long. So whatever digit goes in here and here, the 2 digits that go in here and here must go in here, and the 2 digits that go in here and here must go in here. That's interesting. Can I put a... Yeah, I could. That if that's a 4, one of those is a 4. Well, hang on. 1, 5, and 9. So there must... So these must contain 1 and 9. So this can't be a 9. 9 is in one of those three. Because... 1 and 9 must be in blue because of this quadruple. So 1 and 9 is in those. But I have to put 2 of 3 and 7 in here. Can I make both of those 3 7? No, because then this would have to be 3 and 7. Because if these were 3 and 7, but I can make one of them 3 7. But if I make one of the... Hang on. One of 3 7 has to be on the line down here because of this. I can only make one blue 3 7. If this is 3 7, I can make one of those 3. No, hang on. If this is 3 7, I can't make either of those 3 7. Only one of these can be 3 7. Because if this is 3 7, I have to put 3 7 in one of those. If this is 3 7, I have to put 3 7 in one of those. if those were both 3, 7, if those were both the same digit, but that would be putting it on the line, and then I'd have to put, hang on a minute, there's something going on with the 3, 7 here. Yeah, this can't be 3 or 7 because the 3, 7 is down here. So the 3, 7 is up here, but I can't make both of these 3, 7 because if these are both 3 and 7, I can't put 3, 7 on the line because these would be 3, 7 and that would have to be 3 and 7. And that can't be 3, 7 because of this. So this must be 3 or 7. Which does something up here, but I'm not sure what. But 1 and 9 need to be down here. So there is 1 and 9 in here. But I need to put another 3, 7 in here. And it can't be there. So this is 1, 3, 7, and 9. Because I need to put another 3, 7 around this quadruple. There's no 4 in here. Right. There must be another 3, 7 around this quadruple. I can't put it here because that would break this quadruple because I can't, the 3, 7 in this box is down here, right? I have to put 1 and 9 in blue. And if I put 1 and 9 in blue, then it has to be in one of those 4 cells. So there's a 1, 9 in here. And there's another 3, 7 to make this 3, 7 work. So these are from 1, 3, 7, 9. And this is the other 3, 7. That is a 1, 3, 7, 9 quadruple. But you'll notice in here, there is no 4 in blue. So those are not 4, that's a 4. What does that do? That must do something. It must do something. 4 is down here. If 4 is in either of those, that knocks 4 out of all of that. It puts 4 in one of those two, which is okay, I think. I have to keep an eye on the time. I'm hoping I don't run myself out of time on this puzzle. But we know 1 and 9 are in here. We know 2 and 5 are in those, but not there because that would break that quadruple. So these 2 and 5 are in those. So it's the same up here. Those 4 digits there are those 4 digits there and must contain 1, 4, and 9. I'm not seeing how to use that. We know 1, 4, and 9 is in there, though. There's no 8 in there. Well, let's go back to another default quadruple trick. What are these digits? This can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6 or 8 only. And it's not 8 because of the overlapping 8 quadruples. That's a 6. Which doesn't seem to do that much. But what about these? These can't be 1. They can't be 2. They could be 3. They can't be 4, 5. They could be 6. They could be 7. They can't be 8 or 9. So these are only 3, 6, or 7. That one can't be a 6. These can't be 1, 2, because they're not on the quadruple circle. So any digit in the quadruple circle, they can't be. They could be 3, they can't be 4, 5, they could be 6, they could be 7, they can't be 8 or 9. So these are 3, 6, 7. Hang on, 3, 6, 7, but there's a 3, 7 here. Oh, wow. Because if it's here, it's got to be in one of... If there's a 3, 7 here, it's got to be in one of those. And if there's a 3, 7 in any of those, that completes it on the line as well. So there is a 3, 7 in one of those. Whether it's here, it puts it in one of those. And if it's in one of those, this also has to be a 3, 7. because I can only put one 3-7 in here, because a 3-7 here puts it on the line, making a triple. A 3-7 here puts it on the line, making a triple, and a 3-7 here puts it on the line, making a triple. So that first of all, there must be a 6 in one of those two. But second of all, whichever one of these green cells I put a 3-7 into, I can't put another one in. 3-7 here puts a 3-7 on here, making the triple. Yeah, this is a 3-7. And it's one of those two. Because whichever one goes in here is the one that's on the line. And it will see that one. That feels true, but I can't see how to do it. It does feel true, but I can't see how to do it. Well, there's no 3 in here or in here. So I can't put a 3 here. This must be the 3. If I put a 3 here, it breaks that quadruple. If I put a 3 here, it breaks this quadruple. If I put a 3 here, I have to put a 3 in one of those, which breaks a quadruple. That's the 3. Which means this is the 7, taking 7 out of all of those. And that sees nothing. But now there's a 7. If there's a 7 here, this is 3-6. If there's a 7 here, this is 3-6. And if there's a 7 here, this is 3-6. Either way, that is a 3-6 pair. There's a 7 in one of those. Here we'll put a 7 in one of those as well. Can I put a 7 here? 7. If I put a 7 here, this would be 7. I couldn't put it there. So the 7 would have to go those two. Sorry, if I put a 7 here, it would have to go there. Because a 7 would eliminate 7 from those two. A 7 in those two would break that quadruple. So it would have to be in those two. That seems okay. Oh, this is kind of mean. I was warned. I was kind of warned. If this is a 2, that would need to be a 3. Yeah, that seems okay. So we do need to put 1, 4, and 9 in here with something else. Oh, there needs to be a 7. These are 1, 4, 7, 9. Because if I put a 7 here, there's a 7 in green. If I put a 7 here, there's a 7 in green. If I put a 7 here, there's a 7 in green. And there's always a 1, 4, 9. These are 1, 4, 7, 9. So these are 2, 5, and 8. And there's no 8 here. So if this is 2, 5, 8, does that... There's 2 and 5 around here, but I can't make these 2 and 5 because if these are 2, 5, those are both 8. So this is 2 and 5. So that's one of the 2 5s. That is a 2, 5 pair. And there must be a 2, 5 in here. This can't be a 2, 5. That's one of those two. So can I lower this down now? I don't know. If that's a 3, that's a 3. If that's a 3, we're just done. This isn't a 4 because of that quadruple. Six is not in any of those. 6 is up here. 3, 6, 7. This is kind of brutal. This digit is one of those two. Can that be 2 or 5? Yes. Can that be that? Well, this digit can't be 2, 5. So those are the same digit. Because this can't be 2 or 5. So it can't be either of those, and that can't be that. So those are the same digit. And it can't be 8. So that's not an 8. That's an 8. And this is now 149. Oh, that's brilliant. So 1, 2, this is 3, 6, or 7. So this is 3, 6, or 7, and it can't be chain mode accidentally. This is 6 or 7 because it can't be 3. So this isn't 3. This is a 6, 7. And now that digit, which can't be either of those, and it can't be a 2, 5, is that digit. Those are the same digit. So this is 149. And that must be a 2, 5. Keep the 5 in the corner because I don't know which of those is 5. So those are the same digit. Those are the same digit. I'm going to remove the yellows because I don't know that that's actually helping me. So there's a 6 or a 7 up here. Yeah, that's not it because I could put a 6 here or a 7 in one of those. 149. I don't know that that's helping me either. Ooh, this is mean. So hang on a minute. Yeah, that's a 149 triple. That's a 3. So there's a 3 in one of those two. No, I don't. Well, this is a 3, 6, 7 triple. So there's a 7 on the line. That's a 3, 6, 7 triple. So there's a 7 on the line in one of those two. So that's a 3, and this is a 6, 7 pair. So that's a 3, making that a 6. That 3 puts 3 in one of those two. A 3, but there must be a 3 in blue. So this can't be a 3. That's not the 3, that's the 3. Oh, that's been there for ages. I could never put 3 down here because this was 139. Yeah, this has been a 3 for a very long time, meaning that's not a 3. That's a 149. So there's a 4 on the line in one of those. So that's not a 4. That's 1479. So this is 6 or 7. Because 1, well, this is 2, 5. This is 1479. Oh, no, that's 1479. So these are both 6. That's a 7. And that's a 3. Oh, this is crazy. The 3 takes 3 out of there. That's a 1-9 pair on the line now. That's the 3. And these are 1-5-9, and that's not the 5, and I'm going to get rid of this colouring. I don't think it actually helps me anymore. 6 is now here. There's a 2. Well, I know what these are. These are 2, 7, and 8. There's no 8 there. And because of 8 here and 8 here, that's not an 8 either. That's an 8, and this is a 2-7 pair. The 1-4-9 triple means that's not a 1 or a 9. That's the 5, which means this is the 2, this is the 5. The 2 looks back, making that the 7 and that the 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. No, that's the 5 on the line. But yeah, 1 through 9 is on this line. Same on this line. This is tricky. Can I remove anything from these yet? Well, 4 and 7 are in here. Not sure what to do with that yet. 6 is putting 6 in one of those two. So that's putting 6 on the line. It's putting 6 in one of those two by Sudoku. Yeah, 149, 149, 149. This is just kind of resolved now. Oh, the 2 makes this the 5, which looks up making that the 2, which makes that the 5, taking 5 out of those. That's a 2-8 pair. So there's something missing from here. 1, 4, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a 5 in one of those two, which I could have got from the quadruple. Oh, the trickiness on this doesn't go away. There's no 5 here yet, so the 5 is on the line here. So there's no 5 in any of those because I can't repeat 5 on the line. There's no 5 here. So 5 is in one of those with 3 and 6. Right, 5 is not in any of those. 5 can't repeat on the line. 6 is down here. 5 is not here. And 3 must be here. Oh, hang on. 3 could be here. In fact, 3 is in one of those two. Could that be a 3? Oh, 3 is there by Sudoku. Hang on, what did I just do? I just made something fundamentally wrong. 3 and 3 puts 3 in one of those two. We used that 3 to eliminate from there. I don't know what I was doing there. I fixed it, move on. 7 is up here with 4 and 8. Okay, I think I need to look at this. Let's remove the green, because I don't think it's helping me now that I've found the 1, 4, 7, 9. I know what these two digits are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 and 8. These are 2 and 8. Can I do anything with that 2 and 8? Not obviously. Tricky little puzzle. Well, 5 can't repeat on this line, so 5 is in one of those two. And the 5 is looking up saying not there. This is a 5. So 5 and 5 puts 5 up here in one of those two, which is more restricted than putting it in those 3, and I'm happy with that. So 5 is in one of those. That works well. Okay. Now, every digit needs to go on this line. Those digits there are these digits here. That digit is one of those two. And I have to put 1, 6, and 9 in here. It's not really jumping out at me. I'm wondering if it's this 3, 7 forcing something on this line. Because I have to put a 3 or a 7 on this line, don't I? There has to be a 3 or a 7 on that line. Because otherwise it's 4, 5, 6 and I run out of digits. So this has to be a 3 or a 7 here. And it's not a 3. So that is a 7. Because I can't do a 5-cell long line without a 3 or a 7. So that's a 7, which takes 7 out of all of those. Two and 8 are all in here. Well, hang on, that places the 2. The 2 looks up. That's now a 2. So 2 and 7 need to go into yellow. That digit is still one of those, but where is 2 in yellow? Or where's 7 in yellow? Nope, that's not helping. But the 2 makes that the 8 and that the 2, which makes this a 2-6 pair. This is a 2-6 pair now, and this is the 5, which means this isn't the 5, this is the 5. And this is known. 1, 4, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's an 8. So we've got the 2, 7, 8 in now. So we need to put 2, 7, and 8 in those. There's no 2 there. There's no 7 there. But I don't know what that digit is. Well, it could be 1. It can't be 2. Could be 3. Can't be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It could be 9. So it's 1, 3, 9. And it's one of those two. That could be 1, 3, or 9. That one could be 1 or 9. I think. Because it could be that digit. What's this triple? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 3, 4, and 8. Well, that's not an 8. So that's only a 3 or a 4. There's an 8 in one of those two. I want to say, oh, there's no 3 there because of that. In fact, 3 is in one of those two. So where's 3 on this line? Maybe not. I can't put 3 in either of those two. But 3 has some freedom. There must be a 6 on this line. Right, there must be a 6 on this line. It's in one of those two because I can't put 6 there because I need to connect the 5 and the 7. There's a 6 on this line. And the 6 here is lining up. Oh, no, that's not telling me anything. And can I put a 4 on this line? Yes. Can I put an 8 on this line? Yes. Yeah, there's no 5 in either of those. I was about to say I've broken the puzzle because I had 5s pencil marked in the corner and there's 2 5s looking at them, but I've already got a 5 in the box. There must be a 7 in one of those two. And the 7 is looking down saying that's not the 7. So that's the 7 and this is 1, 4 or 9. Those are the same digit. I can kind of colour the 1, 4, 9s. Oh, this 5 is looking across saying that's not the 5, that's the 5. This is tricksy. The 7 around this quadruple. Can't put it in either of those anymore because of that. That's the 7, which takes 7 off the other locations in the line. It also takes 7 off there. That's a 149. That's a 7. Which means in this box, that's a 7 because of the 2 7s looking up and the 2 7s in the rows. Great. So that puts 7 in one of... No, 7. 7, 7, 7, and 7 places 7 on the line. That digit now has to go there. This is 1, 3, or 9 because that digit... Yeah, so the 7 is done. We will remove the 7, but that digit can't go in either of those by Sudoku or that because it's not a 7. So this is 1, 3, or 9, and it's that digit. And I'm not seeing which one it is. Okay. But these are now 2 and 8. Because I need to put 2 and 8 on the line somewhere. They're not in any of those. That's a 7 and that's a 139. And that one there tells me that's the 8 and that's the 2. And I can remove all of those colouring. Wow, this puzzle. This is 1, 4, or 9 to complete the column. So what is miss... I need to put a... 4 is in one of those two. Oh, yeah, where's 4 in this row? It's in one of those two. So this isn't a 4. Nine is in here. So I'm trying to see which quadruples I haven't fully exploited. Exploit your quadruples. Okay. Okay. I am not... Well, 4 is in one of those two. So that's not a 4. Is it up here? That digit is that digit. Because this digit has to appear in here somewhere. So that digit is that digit. So we can do some colouring here. Those have to be the same digit because that digit has to be in here and it's not a 7. That digit now can't be that digit or that digit or that digit. So those are the same digit. And now those are the same digit. But I'm not sure what that's actually giving me. Three around this quadruple. Yellow is 3. So 3 and 3 puts 3 right there. That's not a 3 anymore. That's a 3, which means that's a 4, which means that's an 8. The 4 looks across saying that's not the 4. So orange is the 4 and blue is not the 4. Get rid of orange. Well, this is now green. This is now green. This is not the 3. This is a 1, 9, and it's a blue 1, 9. And this is a 1, 9, and it's a green 1, 9. This is 1, 6, 9, which is the quadruple. And 1, 9 pair. This is the 6, and this is not the 6. This is the blue 1, 9. There is a 1, 9 in here. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is also 1, 6, 9. And there's no 6 here. So this is the 6. This is the green 1, 9. This is the blue 1, 9. This is the green 1, 9. This is the blue 1, 9. But that means this is known. 1, 2, 3. This is a 4. So this is known. This is a 6. So this is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 4, 8. There's a 4 there, so that's not a 4. That's a 2, 8 pair. So this is a 1, 9, and it's a blue 1, 9. The 2 takes 2 out of there, so this is 4, 8. This can't be a 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If this was a 2, this would only go as high as 6. That's an 8. That's a 4. That's an 8. That makes this the 2, making this the 8 and this the 2. These 1, 2, 3, 1, 4, and 9. This can't be a 1 because there's no 2 on the line, but 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This could be 4 or 9. But that, or the 2 is looking up, making this the 6 and this the 2. Something resolves this. Something resolves this. That can't be a 9 because 9 in box 5 has to be around this quadruple. Blue is 1, green is 9. And that being a 1 means this is a 4, 9, and I need to do more now. So the 9 comes out of those. This is a 1, 4. The 9 comes out of there. The 9 comes out of there. This is the 9. Looking up, making that the 4 and that the 9. The 4 looks down, making this the 1 and this the 4. The 4 looks across, making that the 1 and that the 4. And that is the solution to the puzzle. 3920. What a puzzle. What an absolute joy of a puzzle. That is absolutely bonkers. Some of the geometry around this is absolutely crazy. Yeah, this is definitely one of the harder full deck and missing a few cards puzzles. Because I think I'm pretty good at Renban. I'm sure my Friday night videos, because they're up for longer, I think already, I'm starting to get used to it's like, BremSter did this wrong. And the commenters aren't wrong, but it's like I'm just looking forward. I'm just waiting to see what people think or what people find where I went completely wrong on this one. I'm sure there'll be a bunch of both comments about where people went wrong. Then people will explain, oh, the correct path is this. And then people will ignore the correct path is comments and just mention that there was a logical error. Check your comments. After the video's been up for more than like 4 or 5 hours, there will be a comment pointing out the correct path where I went wrong. This was really cool. What a puzzle. The geometry on this one is absolutely amazing. Really, Renban does geometrical puzzles better. The only thing that could even vaguely compete is Killer, and I think Renban does it better because of the possibility of diagonals. Killer lines, I think, would be about the only thing that could do better geometry than Renban, but I think Renban actually still would do it better. Thanks everyone for watching. What an amazing puzzle. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and as always, good luck with your solving.